Yo, yo. What's good? What's good? We're going to talk about promoting yourself, right? So, when it comes to advancement, that's something you can't complain about if you're not moving that needle yourself, if you're not trying to move that needle yourself. Because number one, you can't complain when a job don't promote you, right? Because you can work as hard as you want, but you can't control the people that are over you making the decisions about who they want to advance. Again, you can work as hard as you want. You can be as consistent as you have to be and be polite as you should be. But in certain positions, at certain jobs, things get political. And I was a victim of it. You know, I worked hard. I showed up. I was told I would be given positions. And I got passed over. It never happened. You know, things got political. But the number one way to promote yourself, the easiest way to promote yourself is to start your own business. Then right away you are the CEO. You are the owner. You are in the head position to call the shots, to, control the product, to control how much you make. That's the easiest way to promote yourself. That's the easiest way to become a boss. To not wait for no one. Because waiting around for a position, for a job that might not be guaranteed to you, I think it is the only person you can blame is yourself if you do not get that position. And I'm speaking on every level of of a job you can have. Even a person with, a college degree, just because you got a degree does not mean you will get advanced. Because that stuff gets political. You can work as hard as you want. Anything you do have so many accomplishments. But that doesn't mean they will promote you. You can get overlooked for years and be putting in mad work. And then some people may be intimidated by you on a job. The most important thing you can do is promote yourself by beginning your own journey and running your own business. And it's going to take time to get on your feet, but you have control. So if you are holding a job, take the money you're making and put it into something. I've said this before. Don't complain about what's happening to you. Don't complain that you've been there for 7 years and 3 people done passed you. Or you only getting 50-cent raises or whatever, however it'll go for you, Don't complain about that if you're not controlling the situation that you can. Because you're just playing a waiting game, And that is a tough position to be in when you put in a lot of time at a certain place. And then you got to leave that job that you're at and then go to the next job. And it's like you got to start through the ranks again to go through the same thing. When you can build something for yourself, promote yourself. Start a business, whatever you love, or whatever the market needs. Observe, pay attention to it. But don't wait. Don't wait no longer than you have to, because you will be overlooked. It will be younger people, less qualified people that come through them doors and get put right over top of you. You know, you complaining, oh, they ain't moved me up to that line leader position, yada yada. They didn't. It wasn't no guarantee that you was gonna get that. You know, it wasn't no guarantee. It was probably, he say, you know, somebody probably told you, oh yeah, you gonna get that. We gonna put you there. Just be patient. And when that time came, they just slid somebody right in that position. And you gotta watch them in the spot that you were supposed to get. Don't wait. Don't wait. Because these things happen. And I can bet you somebody that's going to come across this video is going to happen too. You know? Of course, be patient. Things can pan out for you. Now, I'm not saying things to, you know, make anybody back off, because good things can happen. And I do speak from my experience. But the fastest way to advance yourself is to begin your own business. You know, if you can't make decisions, if you can't, you know, stay calm under pressure, then business is not for you. You might just be somebody that has to be in a corporate setting and work that. And everybody's not built for business, you know. But if you have that desire and you have that vision, and you know, you want to go to the next level and be an actual boss, you know, you're going to have to invest, spend the money, put in the time, build the discipline. Because I can tell you it's not easy. You know, everybody can't do it. It takes a certain person to be able to see things in the future that you got to make a decision for today, and be creative and plan things and be on time and just have a laid out schedule and system of what's going on. You know, don't get in the business world out of excitement. Don't get in this business world because your grandma was the best hairstylist in town and you want to honor that, you know, because it might not be a market for that. Now, it's always a market for hairstyling or, you know, just grooming and stuff like that, but it might be, you know, just something that doesn't excite you. Do what you see that there's a market for, you know. It's business is tricky. It is tricky, but you can become successful if you give yourself a chance. You can immediately advance yourself. I got passed over. I was told, you know, you got this position. You're going to be here once this happens. I was chest out. I was on go. I was ready for the position. When the time came, they just slid him right in the spot, did the other person right in the spot, and I'm sitting over looking like, you know, is this really happening? But who could I blame but myself? I had nobody else to blame. I couldn't blame a person over me that moved this person into the position. You know, I was young, but that's the difference between learning, you know, learning when you have to do things on your own. A lot of things that's going to get you to the next level is things that you can control, but you don't want to think. You don't want to think. You got to think yourself into advancement. You got to think yourself into that next position. And if you do want to move up in the job setting, just let me say this. You got to learn basic skills. You got to learn how to be on time, speak, remain calm, not use profanity, simple things. If you can't deal with people without blowing up, and you trying to fight every other person that got something to say to you, you don't even need to be moved up. You don't even need to be doing business. You could stay at that certain level, you know. But the easiest way to advancement is definitely starting something for yourself. You know, don't take what I'm saying lightly, because I believe that anybody watching this can do it. But you have to be good at maintenance. And I was speaking about this earlier. Everything we do, all of us, we're all maintenance men and women. We're all in the world of maintenance. If you fix cars, you just there to maintain a vehicle. You know, if you don't brush your teeth for a month, they gonna rot out, whatever. You gotta maintain that. If you don't wash your body, you gonna stink. You know, it's everything is maintenance. If you don't vacuum the floor, it's gonna be filthy. Everything is maintenance, and that's all we do as people. It's a world that needs to be maintained. So if you are good at maintaining things and can think prior to the situation, you'll be great in business. You know, you'll be great at a high level position in a corporate company. You know, if that's where you want to go. But believe that you don't own that company. You can't pass it down to your kids like you would if you started your own company. You know, so take the time and really think about where you want to go with your life, and you know what you want to leave behind. Because now you're probably in a position that you can't leave nothing behind for your kids but maybe a insurance plan. But ain't nobody gonna teach them how to the beneficiaries, your beneficiaries, how to spend the money. You know, it's so much that goes into, you know, just that next level of life and having things in order, advancement. And if you just keep that mindset that you are a worker, like I mean like a low level worker, you know, doing hard, grueling work, and that's where you'll stay at, because the people that you work under will say that you are good at that position and we need you there. We're not even going to move you up. You know, but if you are that type of person that works hard, you can run a business. But you got to be willing to work that hard for yourself. Because it was points where things that I did in the past, I was treating a business like a hustle. And you can't hustle a business. I always tell myself that you cannot hustle an actual business. You have to do it every day. Every day. And you have to do it properly. You know? So throughout the years, I've learned what was for me and what was not for me. You know, I hope you pick that up yourself and just, you know, just observe what's going on in your workplace, the politics, the snake activity. Because it's a lot of hard-working people that deserve to be in better positions than they are, that's been putting in work for plenty of years, that's just getting overlooked. But who can you blame? You know, a lot of this stuff that we do is political, and it can come down to skin color. It can come down to the gender type of deal, where, you know, they just don't like, you know, that part of you. And within the rules, it's things they can get away with, you know. But you must advance yourself and remain a great person. Don't let none of it get to you, you know. It's all possible for you. I'm going to continue with mine. I advance myself. I'm the boss of my own system, you know. I'm gonna keep it pushing, and I'm just here to inspire and help people escape that rat race, you know, because I know my people can do it, you know, and it'll take some time, but it'll definitely be worth it. So, you know, take time and think about the advancement in your workplace, and if it's not for you, with the snap of a finger, you can advance yourself. Start your own business, and that's my word for the day, you know. Advancement. Advance yourself. You got this.